All right, in solving some number problems, there are some words that we really need to just pay attention to, right? So, like the word sum means we are going to add. The word difference means we are going to subtract. If we talk about a product, product means to multiply. Quotient means to divide. Now, there are other words that mean those same four operations, but those are kind of the big ones. So just keep those in mind as we work through some problems. So let's do a couple. The difference between 87 and a number is 18. Find the number. Now, when we say difference, as I just mentioned, we're talking about subtraction. Now, it does matter the order in which you are subtracting numbers, right? Think about it. 3 minus 2 is not the same as 2 minus 3. So we have to make sure that we're keeping things in the correct order. So in this particular problem, we say the difference between 87 and a number. So think about the word and as kind of the spot where the subtraction sign goes. So we're going to have 87 and a number. Now, I don't know what that number is. We're going to use the variable x. And is, I should have put this on that first screen, is means equals. So that's going to give me 18. So when I'm thinking through this problem, what 87 minus what gives me 18? Well, we can figure that out solving this equation. So let's just walk through that process real quick. I know that I can do anything as long as I do it to both sides of the equal sign. So I'm going to subtract 87. And so I have left negative x equals 18 minus 87 is negative 69. Now, since these are both negative, I can divide by negative 1, and I end up x equals 69. So the number is 69. Let's do another one. The product of a number and 7 is 35. Find the number. Okay, product means to multiply. So I'm going to take a number, let's call it x. I'm going to multiply by 7, a number and 7, and it is 35. Again, now we can use our inverse operations just like we did last time. 7 times x. The opposite of multiplication is division. So if I divide both sides by 7, my unknown value is 5 because 37 divided by 7 is 5. Now that should make sense. The product of 5 and 7 is 35 because 5 times 7 is 35. The sum of 3 times a number and 4 is 25. Okay, so now we're dealing with sum and times and is. That's 3 trigger words. So first things first, the word sum means to add. So when I see the word and, that's where the plus sign is going to come in. So I have 3 times a number. We'll call that 3x. So the sum of this 3x and 4, so let's add 4, is 25. The battle here and the key here is being able to set up the mathematical piece correctly. And then we just solve. So I'm first going to subtract 4 to isolate the variable component. And 25 minus 4 is 21. Now I can divide both sides by 3 to isolate the variable x, and x equals 7. So 3 times 7 is 21. Add that to 4, and you do indeed get 25. Let's do another. The sum of 2 consecutive even numbers is 66. What are the 2 numbers? Okay, now think about this. If I have a number, let's call it x. Doesn't matter what it is. But to get to and it's an even number, right? So x is an even number. To get to the next even number, I have to add 2. Because think about it. If, let's just say for fun, our first even number was 2. How do I get to the next even number of 4? Well, I add 2. How do I get to the next even number? Well, I add 2. So when you're thinking about 2 consecutive even numbers, it doesn't matter what the first one is. The next one is just that number plus 2. So when it says the sum, that means we're going to add these 2 numbers together. So my first number is x. Add to it my second number, x plus 2. And that gives me my value of 66. Now, on this side, x plus x is 2x. So 2x plus 2 equals 66. And now I can solve that equation. So I can subtract 2 from both sides. So 2x is the same as 64. I can divide both sides by 2 to isolate the variable, and I find out that the x value is 32. Now, the other, right, because what are the two numbers? Well, if my first even number is 32, then the next one is just 2 more than that, which is 34. So here we are with our two consecutive even numbers, 32 and 34. And I believe I have one more example I'd like to do. One number is 3 more than twice the other. Their sum is 27. Okay, so the first sentence is talking about two numbers. One of them we don't know, right? It's just a random value of x. The other one is three more than twice the other number. So the 3 more tells us, we're going to add 3 to that. It's 3 more than that. So twice implies multiply a number by 2. So if I take 2x and then take 3 more than that, that gives me the 2x plus 3. So now that I have that 2x plus 3, and I know my initial number is x, now I can use the information of their sum is 27, because remember, sum means to add. So if I add my two numbers together, I get 27. So we can say, well, x plus 2x. Remember, if there's no number in front of a variable, it's just a 1. So 1x plus 2x gives me 3x. So 3x plus 3 is 27. I can subtract 3 from both sides, and I get 3x equals 24. Divide both sides by 3, and my first number has a value of 8. And that's great and all. So if my first number is 8, now come back and plug it into this piece here. So 2 times 8 plus 3. So 16 plus 3 is 19. So check it out. Does 8 plus 19, if you add those together, do you get 27? The answer is yes. And that is a way to check your work. So that is a little bit playing with some number problems.